Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my beloved lecturer and my fellow classmates. I am Siti Hanisah from Group 5. Today we will be presenting about the case study GO-JEK Indonesia. Before I begin, I would like to introduce my group members who are Ahlam, Sabrina, Faeza, A'qilah and Yasmin, who will also be presenting their respective parts today. In this presentation, we are going to discuss about the background of the company, the decision maker, the major issue, alternatives, decision criteria, analytical tools, evaluation and recommendation. Firstly, I would like to deliver the background of the company. GO-JEK is a Jakarta-based Indonesian multi-service platform and digital payment technology firm. Nadiem Makarim, CEO of GO-JEK, founded the company in August 2010. As a call center to link customers to courier delivery and two-wheel ride-hailing services. In January 2015, GO-JEK launched its application with only three basic services, which are transportation, courier, and shopping. Today, GO-JEK has a worth of 10 billion, which has evolved into a mega application that offers more than 20 services. On the other hand, GO-JEK has also expanded its product and service offerings through Go Live to include new on-demand services such as massage, ticketing, cleaning and beauty. Dayudara Permata and Windy Naturavi started Go Live with the goal of touching every element of customers' lives such as Go Clean, Go Takes, Go Glam and Go Massage. Let's move on to the protagonists, who are the decision maker of the company. Right judgments taken at the right moment are crucial in company's survival. As a result, the person in charge of making decisions is extremely important in any businesses. Thus, Nadiem Makarim is the company's CEO, who is the decision maker in this case study of GO-JEK. On the other hand, for its substantial company, which is Go Live, the decision makers would be Dayudara Permata and Windy Naturavi, who manages the other on-demand fields efficiently. Next, let's move on to the major issue addressed in the case, which is how GO-JEK and Go Live will continue to sustain its business in the long run despite several internal and external challenges. Firstly, drivers' welfare and loyalty has been affected when the company main focus were to maintain constant volume growth, which caused them to lower the compensation for their drivers, and price per kilometer has been decreased. Hence, there will be a high driver turnover as their welfare were not taken care of. This caused the drivers to struggle to afford smartphone, gasoline and motorcycle maintenance. Not only that, their ability to get bonuses were also affected as the threshold for receiving one has been set at 70% daily acceptance rate. As we all know, drivers are the most valuable resource in a company like GO-JEK, as they are the primary personnel who ensure the smooth running of the company. As for GO-JEK, who has 200,000 drivers, extremely depend on them. Without the drivers, the company will not operate successfully in the long run, thus affecting its ability to sustain growth. On the other hand, the entry of new competitors into the market has an impact on GO-JEK's growth as well. This is because GoBike shares many of the same traits as GO-JEK, and it is also a popular Southeast Asian brand. As a result, their drivers may tend to switch to better alternatives like GrabBike because their welfare was not taken care of. This will have an impact on GO-JEK's ability to retain its staff in the long run, limiting its growth in a variety of ways. Finally, it is widely disputed that GO-JEK and Go Live's expansion of growth is the key concern raised in the case, as it is driven by a lack of focus on drivers' welfare and the arrival of new competitors. As for the mega trend, several changes have impacted Indonesia's economy through the emergence of GO-JEK in terms of job opportunities, economical growth through increase in sales, and technological advancement. First and foremost, many job opportunities have opened up for people from all walks of life, as gaining consumer was quite simple and anyone can begin making money in a flexible time period through GO-JEK. Secondly, the country has gained growth in its economy because massive increase in revenue for the organization can be seen clearly in this case study. This is occurred due to the broad product selection, reduced traveling costs, convenient payment method, and many more, which have contributed to a dramatic shift in customer behavior towards purchasing through their application. Lastly, this eventually creates a huge trend in their country's technological advancement, as everyone will start to learn and be tech savvy in order to use the application. That is all from me, and these are the mega trends that we have observed in the Indonesia after the emergence of GO-JEK. Thank you, and I'll pass it to the next presenter.
First alternative is to maintain the status quo, which remains unchanged. GO-JEK can maintain its current operation and organizational strategies. For example, they can maintain the current compensation strategy where price is reduced to customers while drivers' income are also reduced. Also, they can maintain the current mass recruiting strategy to boost sales, which helps accelerate delivery more services to the consumers. They also can maintain offering current on-demand personal services through Go Live. Furthermore, focusing on the current geographical area, which is in Indonesia, without considering expanding to new markets or countries, since they can still generate revenues with its current strategy.
The next alternative is to revamp the current strategies, including expanding the services to new markets. Firstly, to address the internal problem issues regarding the welfare of the GO-JEK drivers, GO-JEK can revamp its current strategies by reconsidering the compensation plan for the GO-JEK drivers. The company should maintain or increase the percentage of commission that will be received by the GO-JEK drivers to maintain their loyalty towards this company. Since the drivers constitute the primary services provider of GO-JEK, they are like the valuable asset of the company who provides the services directly to the customer. If the company loses them, it would affect the company as a whole. On top of that, the human resource management should be improvised in terms of its recruitment strategy of GO-JEK drivers to maintain the quality of services provided to the customers. GO-JEK should recruit new drivers with an adequate examination and not just simply hiring through mass recruitment. GO-JEK should also provide more proper training to improve the skills of the drivers since they play a vital role in conducting efficient business. Next, GO-JEK can revamp its strategies by expanding the GO-JEK services to a new market or geographical area that has high economic growth potential, which in result will contribute to the growth of the company. GO-JEK can expand its services by entering foreign markets like neighboring countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. In order to penetrate a new market, GO-JEK should consider developing or modifying its existing products to suit the needs of the people of its new market since different regions have different cultures and their own needs. Since GO-JEK's products and services are developed mainly driven by the high on-demand services, detailed research should be done regarding the targeted market. Even if the product or service is not sustainable, GO-JEK can use it to accelerate the growth tenfold in a short period of time to help GO-JEK build the trust and company reputation in a completely unfamiliar market. Furthermore, GO-JEK can start by offering the new services alongside the existing services and implementing marketing strategies that can instantly attract the new customer segment to gain trust of its product offering. By offering promotional prices that are much lower than the competitors and creating new services that suit the needs or demand of that particular country, it can gain the customer's attention towards GO-JEK products and services. Example of a new services that can be introduced by GO-JEK is professional moving services that connect the lorry and van drivers with the people who need to move their belongings from their old houses or offices to the new one. However, before entering the new markets, GO-JEK should also consider the competitiveness of existing competitors that have already been in the targeted market and have gained their reputable image and trust by the people within that country. Other than that, a country or region that has a large population and traffic congestion problem can be a suitable market for GO-JEK to expand its services, as they are the problems that GO-JEK took as opportunities to provide its product and services in Indonesia. Expansion to foreign markets requires a substantial amount of investment, since the company needs to establish a new business that requires recruitment of new staff and the GO-JEK drivers within the area, and do a lot of product development as well as implementing marketing strategies for different customer bases. This alternative addresses the major issue the major issues raised by GO-JEK in terms of how the company can expand its products and services to new markets or countries and sustain the customer's trust toward GO-JEK's brand image, which is a known company for always providing the solutions to the customer needs and help to grow other businesses within the same industries.
Next, we will be moving on to the decision criteria that will help enlighten the decision maker in choosing a better alternative by viewing them from various perspectives. Okay, so the first decision criteria are ensuring the well-being of the driver partner and service providers are preserved. This is because the main concern in the case study is mainly about the driver issue. Without them, the GO-JEK mobile application will not be as successful as it is now. Second criteria are to increase the shareholder satisfaction. These criteria should be based on the financial measure whereby we decided to choose to measure its profitability of the company and how it can increase the wealth of the company. Wealth maximization here refer to the value of the business. Due to the reason that GO-JEK is a startup company, the company valuation is important to attract new investors to the company. The last decision criteria are about the technology advancement. GO-JEK mobile application is digital technology. Therefore, the responsiveness of the company toward any new changes in technology could help the company's sustainability. Friendly user interface in the mobile application and any service offer more convenient could attract more user and customer for GO-JEK.
Now let's discuss about the analytical techniques that we have discussed in the paper. Which first one is spatial analysis. Spatial analysis helps in examining the macro environments that have profound impact on GO-JEK's performance. So to begin with, firstly the political aspects. As far as the political environment is concerned, for GO-JEK, Indonesia has a stable political environment where they encourage non-cash transactions, boost the service sector, and the citizens require more efficient and secure mobility solutions. All adds a positive political forces for GO-JEK. However, there are some negatives like bureaucracy is inefficient and there are political priorities, difference in political priorities, and also even though the political responsibilities are separated between agencies, it increases the time and expense of doing business as well as obtaining certificates and permissions. Secondly, the economical aspects. A country's region's economic characters have a direct influence on a market or business. The overall economic condition seems to be attractive for GO-JEK as there is an increase in purchasing power of millions of middle and upper class in the cities around, and their demands are not getting fulfilled due to full traffic and inefficient information flow. And on the supply side, there are thousands of drivers, delivery men, artists, all ready to provide their services, or many small, medium enterprises, entrepreneurs, and uh, these all at the positive side. However, there are negatives like 40% of population still under poverty line, low bank literacy rate, also high informal economy, all adds negative forces to GO-JEK. Next to discuss is social aspects. Indonesia, we know it is world's fourth largest populated country in the world, and the birth rate there is 2.1 percentage per woman. So all these indicates this rate is during 2015. So all these indicate a positive expectation of current and future demands, and the level of social concerns and awareness in the society is high in Indonesia, which indicates a negative social force because this can lead to a higher pressure from non-governmental organization and pressure groups. So as we can see in the case study, the protest from drivers has reached the stage where gunshots have evolved. So all these constitute negative forces. Also to mention, the urbanization rate in Indonesia is very high. Next is technological aspect. Indonesia is the first digitalized nation in the Southeast Asia with its high smartphone adoption, 325 million cellular subscription, which is fourth largest in the world, 88.1 active internet users with 36% carrying smartphones. All these factors unlock a wider opportunity for companies like
GO-JEK. And apart from that, Indonesia has a strong e-commerce and social network engagement among the countries in Southeast Asia. And there is also a high increase for on-demand transportation services, and hence it is highly important for GO-JEK to come with strategies that help sustain in the market. Now let's discuss about the environmental aspect of pestle analysis. As far as the environmental factors are concerned, the inefficient OJIC system and low gasoline prices, vehicle loans that are affordable and expensive, inadequate and inefficient public transportations, all these add positive environmental forces for GO-JEK. And next is legal aspect. As we can see in the case study, taxi drivers are protesting against GO-JEK, and the Transportation Ministry is now pursuing legislation in opposition to the sharing economy of online-based as well as non-online-based. So these constitute a negative external force for GO-JEK.
Analytical tool is ENSOF matrix. The ENSOF matrix, which can also be referred to as product or market expansion grid, is a great analytical tool to help GO-JEK to plan the growth of its company by evaluating the different initiatives in each growth strategy and simultaneously analyzing the risk from implementing that particular strategy. The more the strategy is moved horizontally and vertically into a new quadrant of the matrix, the more risks are associated with the strategy. However, the higher risks taken by the company could give more benefit to the company in terms of the long-term growth of the company. First, market penetration. The risk in implementing market penetration strategy is the lowest since the company just needs to sell more of its existing product in the market that the company is already in. GO-JEK can employ this growth strategy by increasing the marketing strategies, such as reconstructing the pricing strategy that can give the best price for each of its products to attract more customers to use the GO-JEK services. One of the GO-JEK competitors, GrabBike, that provides a similar motorcycle e-hailing service, has become a threat to GO-JEK since the company offers a lower price as compared to GO-JEK. Therefore, by reducing the price of its product, GO-JEK can increase the price competitiveness in the market and increase its customer base within the existing market segment. Moving on to the second quadrant, market development. The market development strategy is slightly riskier as the company requires to enter a new market with its existing product. Less investment is needed since the company does not have to be involved in research and development projects for product development. GO-JEK can implement this strategy by expanding its services to new geographical areas, but either by entering into a new domestic market in the Indonesia region or a foreign market like the neighboring countries. There are some factors that need to be considered by GO-JEK before setting up the business in the unfamiliar market. Since GO-JEK services involve high technology, expansion to new markets should take into account the infrastructure of the area in terms of its internet connection because the services that GO-JEK is providing are heavily reliant on strong data connection and high technological investment. The use of smartphone devices among the targeted customer in terms of their technology know-how and the normalization of using motorcycle in that targeted market are also among the factors that should be considered by GO-JEK. Next is product development. The product development strategy also involves medium risk that needs to be taken by the company as the company will have to modify the existing products or create new products for its existing market. Less investment on marketing strategy needed since the company already has its target audience, but significant funds will be incurred on developing new products through research and development activities. GO-JEK has already used this kind of strategy ever since the establishment of the company. They started by providing e-hailing transportation services and now up to offering various kinds of services that are in high demand. A lot of products have been launched by GO-JEK as a result of identifying the day-to-day problems and fulfilling what people need. GO-JEK can continue to offer new products that can solve people problems, like I mentioned earlier, by providing professional moving services that can help the lorry or van drivers finding their customer by connecting through one single app of GO-JEK. And lastly, diversification. Diversification is the highest risk strategy that needs to be backed by a substantial amount of funds among the four growth strategies, as the company needs to create a new product either related or non-related and offer them whether in a new market geographically or new customer segment. This strategy, however, can offer a greatest return if the strategy implemented result in a successful outcome. The example of new related products in new market segments that can be launched by GO-JEK are by providing the platform for private drivers in tourism areas, especially meant for the tourists who would like to rent the services for a couple of days during their stays. This strategy requires a lot of R&D projects for product development and support by a good financial model to analyze the worth of every penny of funds that is invested in this growth strategy.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I'll be presenting decision of alternative. Our group have chosen the second alternative, which is revamping current strategies, including expanding to a new market due to these reasons. First, this alternative solves the driver's compensation issue, which we think that one of the major internal problem that GO-JEK need to improve on. It also satisfies the first decision criteria, which is ensuring the welfare of the GO-JEK drivers. Secondly, expansion to a new market that target countries with congested traffic and large population, as well as product development, will increase the company's profitability due to increase in demand. It satisfies the second decision criteria, which is increasing shareholder satisfactions. Also, market expansion will attract more investors and consequently improve GO-JEK financial status. Of course, every alternative has its cons too. First, market expansion and product development requires huge investment because GO-JEK need to do substantial research and development. However, it is still possible for GO-JEK to execute this alternative because GO-JEK has received funding amounting to 550 million US dollar in August 2016. Besides that, GO-JEK will face new challenges associated with the new market due to the new demographic, new regulation, new threats, and competitor. However, despite these challenges, GO-JEK has the technological advantage and data scientist expert to address this issue effectively. Hence, this alternative also satisfies the third decision criteria, which is utilizing its technological advantage in its strategy. To conclude, we choose this alternative because it satisfies all the decision criteria.
Now, let's discuss about some of the recommendations that we have in suggestion for GO-JEK. Firstly, reduce the percentage of commission receivable by GO-JEK to 10% and bring forth policies to cover 50% of the maintenance cost or 30% of the fuel cost. To explain it further, in order to optimize cash burn and improve bottom line during 2016, GO-JEK significantly reduced the price they offered to customers. So this affected the income that drivers receive because 20% of the fare went for GO-JEK's commission, which further reduced their income. So, and this is entirely contrary to the promise made by GO-JEK to drivers, which is more income and more efficiency. So this has to be removed, and initial price can be maintained or should either reduce the percentage of commission they receive to 10%. And this is not negligible percentage because they have 200,000 drivers, and this 10% surely will contribute in making significant sales or profit. And GO-JEK can also bring forth policies to cover maintenance cost and fuel cost, as drivers find it difficult to cope up with the expenses. And next recommendation regarding the recruitment strategy, that they should inherit a viable recruitment strategy by hiring in waves and not in mass recruitment, because under their present strategy, drivers can start working within 4 hours of training, and they were taught about how to treat passengers properly, use of smartphones, and etc. But apart from these, there are several other criteria to be considered, which is maintaining quality of services, professional ethics, meeting security requirements, etc. In fact, according to Rappler, 7,000, according to a valid site, 7,000 drivers were suspended after being found engaged in fraudulent activities. So this shows the inefficiency in their recruitment policy. So adopting proper recruitment policy can make sure that all drivers get enough rights, provide the their vision statement in the next 5 years is to increase the income of service providers and not simply add up the number of drivers. And lastly, a representative organization can be created inside GO-JEK. This is because there are so many problems faced by drivers. So evaluate and tackle such challenges faced by drivers. This organization can act as a middleman in communicating between the management and drivers to solve their issues. That's all about me. Thank you.
The second recommendation for GO-JEK is to expand to new markets in other countries to achieve long-term sustainability and growth. This falls under medium-term strategy, which can be achieved by GO-JEK in between 1 to 5 years, as there will lots of process need to be done by GO-JEK. Global expansion help to strengthen its brand image, generate more sales, and increase its market price. GO-JEK can expand to a new market and developing countries with a thriving informal sector and have extensive growth potential for a tech business such as Southeast Asia, which includes Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. GO-JEK should also consider various factors before entering to new markets, such as the country's traffic situation, population size, GDP growth, and technological development, etc. According to Kumar, 2022, Southeast Asian countries have a huge population and the population involvement in the digital environment is growing. GO-JEK can start providing its ride-hailing services and food delivery before slowly expanding into various on-demand services. To regionalize its business, GO-JEK should consider acquisition and partnership as it will help GO-JEK to understand more about their local operations, regulations, and consumers' needs, since GO-JEK might have limited knowledge about the new markets. By partnering with talented companies related to technology sectors, marketing, and others will help GO-JEK to improve its services. GO-JEK also can partner with Google Maps for location services and acquire fintech companies to improve its digital payment sector. So, how much GO-JEK should invest on this expansion? The substantial amount of investment, which may involve hundreds millions dollars, need to be allocated to ensure it can operate better in the new market. Since GO-JEK receives a huge investment from its investors, they can use this capital to fund the expansion plan. During the early stage of expansion, it can implement effective marketing strategies that can instantly attract new customers. For example, GO-JEK can collaborate with popular brands or local universities, which can instantly increase its brand awareness of GO-JEK. Next, it can do promotional campaigns which offer promotional price and vouchers, such as offer free delivery of Go Food services or $2 off for first-time users to enjoy GO-JEK rides to gain customers' attention towards GO-JEK. For the next stage, GO-JEK should develop new services and modify its existing services to suit the local consumers' needs in its new market. This is important because by focusing on ride sharing only would not generate exponential growth to GO-JEK. By considering the competitiveness from other competitors such as Grab in the new market, it is crucial for GO-JEK to gain dominance in the market and gain competitive advantage to increase its sustainability and growth. To sustain, GO-JEK should dominate the market industry by becoming a super app that caters to many needs of consumers. GO-JEK should introduce Go Live to its new market, which offers on-demand services to meet the local needs. The services offered depend on the demand and culture of the country, as different regions have different cultures and their own needs. It can diversify its services by aligning services with consumers and their locations. For example, if it expands in Malaysia, which have Muslim majority, they can do campaigns during Ramadan, such as partnering with the state religious council to help consumers pay zakat or send donations by utilizing the services on the GO-JEK apps. To gain competitive advantage, they can leverage its data advantage by using the data to involve in the research and development process. By doing so, they can identify the consumer's needs and problems toward those services provided in the apps. Thus, a detailed experimentation need to be done in modifying and developing its services to ensure it can give better service to consumers. That's all for me. Thank you.